I just never want the worlds to collide. Even like, but it's a weird thing because if you want to start a podcast,
you kind of want it to.
And then it's like, oh, I do want people to hear it.
Yeah,
but
you do.
I don't want these people that I work with to hear it. Because you're saying outlandish stuff,
yeah.
right? Like, oh, hey, go Trump. And people at work are like, like they have actual takes, things that actually affect their lives.
Yeah.
And you're just being jokey about it. And then people are like, hey, could you come into my office? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel. And with me today, I have my first guest. Hopefully I can cut the camera angle off so then I can do a reveal of who it is. This guy I met in my freshman year, one of my first friends at UT. We've been able to ride it strong. Good brother of mine. He actually had a podcast way before me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kunal Patel.
Patel you about it, or Patel me about it. I think that was the title.
No. Oh, was that the title?
Yeah. Patel me about it. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, how did that start? Because obviously that was back, you did that on SoundCloud.
Yeah. I don't even think I was on Apple or Spotify.
It wasn't even a thing though.
No, yeah, it wasn't that big. That was back when, SoundCloud was pretty big. They weren't like deleting everything and removing stuff for like copyright stuff. How did it start? Man, I was listening to podcasts a long time ago. I feel like I was a little ahead of the curve, but I was just
It's okay to brag about it.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I was just naive. No, I was just naive. Like I didn't cut anything. I definitely didn't record myself visuals. It was just audio. And bro,
were you just using Audacity?
Yeah, Audacity.
Yeah.
And I bought a mic. I still have it in my garage.
Was it like a Blue Yeti? I think I have one.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like portable like this. Like it's like you got to be sitting there.
You have it still?
I have it.
Pull it back out.
I'm gonna.
Do you have it? Do you have it in the city that you live?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's at my home. Yeah.
So why? Like, have you thought about it? Where it's like, oh, hey, like I started this back in college, but
like
it's not even like it didn't gain traction. You did it for
only 2 weeks. Yeah. I was gonna say like maybe 4 episodes, and the episodes are still out there because I still like listen. I still listen to like SoundCloud, and I have my own profile, and I'll look at it, and they're all obviously liked.
Yeah.
And so they like come up randomly. I can't listen to myself.
What you mean obviously liked? No, that's
no,
the
like,
worst part. The listening
profile.
to your part is one of the worst parts.
Yeah.
Like when after that's why I'm trying to remove myself from all of the steps that follow recording.
Yeah.
Because you record, you upload it.
You have to listen to yourself.
You listen to it, you edit it, and then you're looking at yourself also. And then you're like, and like let's say you get a little, you start getting a little paranoid where you're just oh, bro, like, do I sound like an idiot? Are people going to cancel me? And then it's like, oh, but those are also the same things that help, versus being boring.
No, I got it. I mean, dude, example I have of that, I didn't watch my own speech at my wedding until a year later. I just didn't want to. I knew I was kind of drunk. I knew I probably crossed a few lines, maybe skipped a few people I was supposed to thank. It's like, I don't want to listen to it.
Did you wing that?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You were there. You saw it.
I just remember the part where, I'm guessing we could talk about it. I don't think your mother-in-law is going to see this.
No.
Well, I mean, even then, everyone was at the wedding, right? Where it's just like,
knows.
where you make a certain joke and it was like, oh shit, like, oops,
Yeah.
But that's normal.
Yeah.
Like look at what our friend Sean, when he went up there and he was a bit drunk, he said,
bit drunk. Gride and broom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he started his speech.
Or even me during some of the years back when I was doing, dance competitions, and it was like, oh, hey, like my sister would text me and she was like, hey, you're slurring your words.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a funny story, like probably 2017, Joe, you were emceeing. So we had graduated, but you were still there in college. So we all came back, support our boy, including his sister was there. And she came and found us at like intermission and was like, get your boy some water. Like, he's drunk. That was a true story. I was like, dang.
It was like almost a dark time because all of y'all had graduated.
Yeah, we were gone.
I rarely saw another friend of mine because he was president of Beta Chi.
Yeah.
And then Narain was also he was pretty much gone.
I think he was gone, right?
So then it was oh, hey, like, who do I have to bounce ideas off of? Who do I have to do all this stuff to? So then I would show up the day of again. And here's like the procrastinating part where it's like, I did it last year. Therefore, I can do it again this year. Flawless, it went great last year. Now I don't need to prep. Yeah. And so sure enough, I went in there and then it was like, oh my God, like I started seeing ghosts. Like it's one of the most uncomfortable feeling because at least
Yeah.
when you mess up a move during like a dance performance, it keeps going.
And half the people don't even realize.
It keeps going. Like there's so many other factors, but when you're up there talking by yourself and you say something and then it just
there's no one there.
is dead quiet.
Yeah.
That was the most nerve-wracking thing. And then the worst part is I was like doubling down, right? Where I was like, oh, this joke didn't work. Let me take another swig.
I do remember you doing that. Yeah.
It was that was such a bad year, dude. And I still do think about it when like
You
yeah.
did always say that was a bad year.
when I see all the when I see like these clips of comedians and being like, oh yeah, you have to bomb at least once. I was like, y'all don't understand. You know, like it'd be one thing if I was doing small stand-up shows and I bomb, right?
Yeah.
You bomb in front of 20 people and then you walk off.
And you probably don't even know anybody.
I bombed in front of probably how many people would those auditoriums hold? 1,000 at
I was
least.
gonna say like right under 1,000. Yeah, over 500 people for sure.
At least.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
And live stream, I'm pretty sure live stream was.
Oh
big in
shit!
2017.
Don't talk about the live stream.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Were you watching that?
Yeah.
Yet?
Oh yeah, I was there.
So
yeah.
many mistakes where it's just like I've
Didn't you
there's this
Steve Harvey that one?
Yeah.
You Steve Harvey that one.
But there's
yeah.
so many like I'm not gonna victim blame, but like during the year of Jaluk, there was a handful of things that I did wrong.
Yeah.
But there was some things where it was like there was two competitions that year towards the end, Bollywood America and Legends.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember in my script I have, and this is after intermission, so I laid off the alcohol for a little bit, and I was like, all right, I'm back.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm back, you know? And then I did that Donald Trump joke, and it was horrible. This is a week after he won.
Yeah, because it's in the fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and everyone
you're
was
right.
terrified, and I didn't know how to deliver a sensitive joke.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know where you just
It's not an
say it,
easy
you know?
thing.
Yeah, where you, and now it's like, oh, this didn't go good. And then I basically said, hey, my dad's a Republican, and everyone was
Yeah.
like, what? I was like,
Your
"Oh,
poor dad was in
shit."
the audience, like, God damn it.
But I mean, so many like that's the hard part where it's like, hey, you know damn well your dad's also Republican. You know, like
When
the
you got when
relatability.
you got an auditorium
Yeah.
full of Indian people, for sure, and no one wants to say it.
That's
but
what I
like,
thought
yeah.
would happen though.
Yeah.
And then the relatability it was just bad delivery, you know, where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you might have had something good there, but you didn't execute it well. So back to that video thing where I went out and in the back, I knew Bollywood America video was first, the promo video.
Oh yeah.
And then one of the girls that was part of the event,
Yeah.
she was like, hey, no, it's Legends first. And I was like, are you sure? She said, yeah. So I go out there, hey, here's the Legends video. Bollywood America video plays.
Glass up
yeah.
there.
And it was just like, dude, this is so embarrassing. You know,
Yeah.
like that was really bad. And then I honestly didn't MC. I mean, it's not like that traumatized me.
Of course,
I was
not.
just
Yeah,
like,
you bounced back.
I was like, okay, you know, I'm not going to, there's no other gig I can get. I can't do Thal because I danced at it.
Yeah.
And
At that moment, at that time.
everything else, they would just go with other people.
Yeah. Or ghost MC, that was a thing. I know you feel
And
a
yeah,
certain type of way.
I didn't want to do that. And then I did lose the Ross one to, what was that guy's name? The guy with the long hair. Remember he had like a.
Damn, well, you better call someone out. I don't know. I really
Yeah,
don't know who you're talking about.
he got the Ross the All Stars one from me.
Long hair.
So then I didn't do anything until pretty much COVID,
Yeah.
and that guy was like whispering in my ear of like who got second place, and I said the wrong person.
You said the wrong team. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said the wrong team.
And the funny thing about that was there was a chat because that was during COVID, as you said. And so there was like a live stream and like a chat going on. And we were watching, me, his now fiance, and my wife were like cheering him on, obviously. And then like I think we saw the chat blow up and we're like, oh God, I think he said something wrong. You announced the wrong team. Something happened.
They were on my ass.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like, oh, hey, why did this guy just do this? You know, like,
yeah.
is he an idiot? You know, and for Steve Harvey's thing, I think he's come out and said like, oh, this is what happened. But
Yeah.
for mine, it was just like,
Was Steve Harvey the Oscars one, right?
no, Miss America.
Oh, yeah. He didn't miss America.
And
It
then
happened more. The Oscars thing happened too. They gave the wrong envelope. It
Really?
happened. Yeah, like 2-3 years ago.
I think that I saw some clips of where they were just like opening the envelope. Like they don't even. They're just like, hey, I'm not going to present the nominees. Like,
Yeah.
it's Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
You know,
they
like,
did it this year.
We
Yeah,
knew
I
what it was
watched
gonna
it.
be.
Yeah.
For that mistake, I was just like, shit. Like, and so I said, hey, I apologize.
Yeah, that time you kinda
all I
owned
could
it.
do, right?
Yeah,
I
there's nothing else you can
apologize.
do. Yeah.
I say who actually won. People kept spamming in the
You
chat like
apologize
just
to that
hateful
team,
stuff.
Yeah.
And then I closed my laptop and that was done. Like, that's the thing about cyberbullying, where it's like, hey, I can close this and be done with you guys.
Yeah, you got the Zelle. You're like, all right, never have to talk to those people again.
They didn't ask me to come back ever again.
Yeah.
Even like if you were to start one now, would you
podcast?
Would you be? I mean, but what would it be around? Because if it's not like if it's sports, right? You can't get canceled per se.
No, I don't think
people
you can.
will hate you.
Yeah.
But
no, it would probably be sports. That's like the only thing I can say I know, like naturally, and just be able to speak about it. I wouldn't do anything else. Everything else is cancelable.
Yeah.
Like if I talk politics, if I talk like pop culture, like trends.
What's wild is those two. Anytime I've done anything on sports, so in order, politics, sports, and fast food.
Yeah.
Those three get the most like
traction,
viewership, people commenting and engaging because everyone wants to input their opinion.
Yeah.
Whereas like no, LeBron's the greatest. You know, like stuff like even
you talked about the Super
Bowl.
Like when that was coming around.
People just no one wants to comment. Hey, good take.
Yeah. No, they want to debate you.
We love
disagree.
Yeah. You love to be a little bit more on the negative side of things.
People want to disagree. People want opinions. We all know you for your opinions. That's what people want to hear.
I mean, that's why I also started this, where it was just like, I mean, you saw me when I got canceled on Twitter.
Yeah.
When I was just like, hey, no, like people were literally messaging me, being like, hey, no, I agree with you, but I'll never say it publicly.
They won't come out. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was just like, hey, I get it. Like, that's actually a good segue. Where I was like, I lived with Kunal back in 2019 to I think 22.
22, yeah, I think so.
Because you got married at the end of 22?
Yeah. So almost 3 years. I moved to Dallas in August, and then I moved out in like June of 2022. Yeah. So just under 3 years.
You were in Houston before that?
Yeah.
And then college. So college Houston, then to Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. I've done like what do they call it? Like the triangle? The three big cities. Houston, Dallas, Austin. I've lived in all three.
You didn't do San Antonio?
No offense to San Antonio. Lubbock for anybody out there.
I was talking to a couple of my boys that are planning on moving out here, and I asked you this question earlier, where it's like, what age do you think for a guy, for it to be like, hey, it's not socially acceptable for you to have roommates?
Yeah. You did ask me this, and I didn't really prep for it, but I'm just gonna say like 27. I feel like that's good. Because how old are you when you graduate? 22, 23?
22.
22. Damn, maybe not 27. No, I'd say 5 years. Yeah, no, I'd say 27 is probably pretty good. I was probably a little older when we were still living together. That was just circumstances. I think the circumstances are a little different now, too, with the way, like, the housing market and rent's, like, freaking crazy, especially if you're living out here. So I get it. Every circumstance is different. But I would say, like, 27 is the time to start kind of figuring out who you are for yourself, like being able to decorate things for yourself, cook for yourself, like figure shit out by yourself. You become kind of dependent. You become the person who you're living with, maybe, right? You get their tendencies. And so you kind of need to start figuring out who you are at that age. I mean, again, no right or wrong answer, but I'd say like 27.
But like what's wild is you lived by yourself.
Yeah, and then I went to a roommate. Yeah.
And then you lived by yourself, and you had a boy in town.
Yeah, I lived by myself for like 2.5 years in Houston. And
why was it never a thing of like, so we have another friend named Sean who was also in Houston. Well, actually, I mean, you could diss him if you want, honestly. But like, you know, there was never a conversation of, oh, hey, should we room together?
No, there was. Yeah, dude, him and I even went and looked at apartments together, which I wouldn't recommend doing. It's kind of weird. Yeah, like that was a.
Were people like, oh, are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that happened at least once.
I think that happens anytime. Even when I was helping Anushka find apartments.
Yeah.
This is back when I was in college and she had probably 1 year out.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, you know, like, are you guys like, you know, a couple and stuff? And it's like, you know, like I get, you
it's
know, like I understand
the
assumption.
Yeah. I get it.
So I could see like you and Sean.
And then they see our IDs and we're both Patels. They're like, what is going on?
Whoa.
Yeah, no, we definitely like looked at apartments together. And then maybe it was me. I was kind of the one that was like, hey, I think we should just live close by each other so we can hang out, but not together.
And you guys were in the same office.
Yeah,
so
and we worked together. That was the kicker. It was like, hey, so we get carpool to the office.
All
like,
day.
I'll meal prep for you. Like, pack your lunch. Nah, it would have been too much.
But for the better, right? Because like The only strange thing would be when we came there. Sometimes it was a conversation of, oh, who's staying where, kind of thing.
But we were so young back then, it never mattered.
Yeah, I thought it did. Where I was like, oh, like, is this person thinking this? Like perception.
Yeah. I
where
guess
it's like, whatever, bro. Like, who cares? Like, what is he gonna get offended by this?
Yeah.
Because I will say, when I initially moved back home in 2017, and I was working in Fort Worth, I was like, you know what? I'll get my own place.
You had a huge commute. You had a hell.
I'll get my own place in Fort Worth. I'll live the life. I'll be in downtown. Parents were very anti, as they are, right? They don't want you to move out until you're married.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I probably will never get married as long as I'm at home. So that separation of not even can I, establish my own life. I learned how to, decorate for myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Cook for myself. If I were to start a relationship, and this girl comes over. She just feels more comfortable. Yeah. She's, you're almost more willing to go over to someone's place because it's like, oh, I know you don't have any roommates. I don't have to, I don't
put
feel.
On the front or
Like it's like when you go to a family house, like your friend's family's house, and you're sitting on the couch or something, and you're sitting proper because it's like, oh, like I know his mom or sister or brother may walk by at any point, and I don't want them to think I'm a slob or something. So then, avoiding that. It just makes it easier. Like you reduce the friction of getting into let's say a more serious relationship or long term, or if you're a bachelor, you just do your thing.
You want to do your thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, and it's harder. The other element is working from home. So if you live together, like in a small space, maybe a 2-bedroom's a little bigger, but like you got to kind of figure out the dynamics of taking meetings, eating lunch. Like you're gonna eat lunch at the same time. Working out together, it becomes a lot. Like you want some level of independence. That would be like my advice.
When you and your now wife started living together, were you both working from home?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were both fully remote at that time.
But this is post
wedding. Yeah, she didn't move in officially until after the wedding.
I do see the benefit, like, because you can get super bored. Like, I will always say COVID has had a permanent effect on me as far as, like, I don't like leaving the house anymore.
Yeah, you become a homebody.
I don't know if you remember, right before that, I was doing a thing where I would go, like, do one social interaction a week.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I was doing that? And you were like, bro, why are you hanging out with him? Why are you hanging out with her?
You made it a point to be like, I'm going to get some sort of social interaction. But it's funny that we're talking about it now. I do this. I like, push Jason and I to do that same thing. Now? Yeah. Because I think we've 100% become homebodies.
Do you find yourself, like, just like, oh no, let's just stay home?
No, I used to be. Yeah. But now I've come to a realization you need some sort of socialization.
You lose your mind.
Yeah, you do. You just become like a homebody, like lazy. I'm like, hey, let's put on some nice clothes and go. If we don't have to go to like a fancy restaurant, we can go to freaking Chewy's. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. Like, let's just get out of the house. Or go meet with someone, have an interaction, bounce an idea off a friend, like talk about a movie you watch, a book, a podcast. Like, you need other opinions.
Some type of like, it's such an isolated thing now. Everyone likes to just be. The COVID thing has pushed for, hey, like we don't need to be back in the office. You don't need to get your groceries from the grocery store. Yeah. Anything you need to do it from home.
You can do everything.
And it's like, here. Like, we're not made to stay in this place. Yeah. Like, we're made to do the bare minimum and then leave. Yeah. To the roommate part. Oh yeah, just so staying home. I didn't realize what it did to me. Like, I wouldn't text people. When people would call me, I would get irritated. Yeah. And I was like, hey, unless you're talking to me on Fortnite and Call of Duty, don't talk to me. Like, I didn't realize it until much later. Like, so Isha and I start dating August 2020. And her, you, and Jason were the only people I was interacting with, pretty much.
We really did.
I would go home once a week.
Yeah, you'd go see your fam.
And even then, you realize, like my threshold for hearing volumes has diminished, like, because you got one toddler running around. Yeah. Your mom's talking, your dad's talking, your sister's talking, everyone's talking, and you're just like, oh, this is too much. Like, I'm used to hearing one person talk at a time. Yeah. And that's just a different world, right? Because, like, you think about our parents, or even like maybe our siblings too, where they grew up in a, like, you're in this house, and everything, you just hear everything. You hear your mom, you hear your grandma, everyone's just talking. And then even now, where when we first moved here, and we both work from home.
Yeah.
I was so annoying. I would just keep coming out here and being like, "Hey, you good?" And it's like, bro, you just asked me this like
Yeah. Yeah.
10 minutes ago. And so then finally, that's when I was telling you this earlier, where it's like, yeah, I just go to the 6th floor to work.
Yeah. Yeah. In a small space like this, that's why I asked that. Like,
It's too much.
How do you guys both work from here?
It's too much.
Yeah.
And like the same thing that they say where like, oh, distance makes the heart grow fond. The opposite is true, right? Where like if you stay together for human beings are not meant to be together for that long.
Yeah. You just need some sort of like
routine, schedule, get out of the house. You know,
Different.
like I know I want to be here alone for some days.
Yeah.
I know she wants the same thing.
Yeah.
So even days that I'm trying, like I when I used to go do extra work, and she would have the house for 12 hours, 14 hours, and then you get back and it's like, oh, we actually have something to talk about,
right?
Because I don't want to talk to you about this dashboard. Yeah. The only thing you're gonna hear me say is like, oh, this bitch from work, like guess what she did, or this person got hired. Like, it's such boring stories to someone that doesn't know anyone at the company.
Exactly. There's no connection to like the work from your significant other's perspective. Like, you can only go so far.
Do you miss office culture?
Yeah.
Are you you're full-time work from home?
Yeah, my office is in Jersey City, so I've only been there like twice in 15 months I've worked. Fully remote.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have they said anything where it's like, oh, hey, we're gonna come back and?
Nah. Even the people in Jersey barely go into the office, so I think we're gonna be fully remote. That's fine. Like, I work crazy hours, so no one really cares to make us go anywhere. But I do miss it. The happy hours, like the office, go get a coffee with someone. Yeah. I ate that shit up. I loved it.
Dude, and like you use the restroom like 4 times a day. Like I understand like nowadays I burn more company time than, like, oh, I used to go to the restroom on company time. Or I used to go get coffee on company time. But it's the routine. Yeah. Like, because then you try to squeeze in too much. Oh, I'll do laundry at 12 and I'll food prep at 3 p.m. And the next thing you know, you're working at 7 p.m. Yeah. When usually you wouldn't, right? Where you would be working till 4. Yeah. Get back home. The office. And then you do your evening stuff.
Yeah. Now, but see, now when you're working from home, the biggest thing is like it never ends. Yeah. It never ends.
Someone will ping you at like 9 p.m. And it's just like, bro, like I'm on Western time. So I know it's like 11 your time.
That's crazy for you. Yeah.
It
happens all the time.
Western hours is a bit like, it's not great. You wake up and you're like, oh shit, people are already reacting and you don't go into an office. So no one ever sees your face. Everyone everyone just has the assumption, oh, this person is slacking off. Yeah. And they're right. They are right.
In most cases they are right. Oh, I know.
Bro,
yeah.
When they started all those like, oh, hey, we're going into bankruptcy. We need to start this team to do this team to do this. I was like, yo.
That was your old oh no, that's a company you're still at.
I'm still here.
Yeah, that's right.
Still here.
Not to throw them under the
bus,
that
too, where it's just like, I've gotten so mundane in working at this place where it's just like, damn, bro, like,
how long
I need to switch up.
Been there
4 years now.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you used to go to the office.
Yeah, but that was when it was like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I remember.
I'll tell Aisha this, where it's like, I do miss the office routine. I go, I park the car, go get
you had the
like
downtown one, right?
Burritos.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then you work a little bit, and I was able to get away from like the button down slacks thing. Yeah, so I would be wearing like a t-shirt and dress.
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of chill.
So it was just like, it was better. Yeah. But now, bro, you rarely find yourself getting ready. You have all these. Personally, I had a whole bunch of button downs that I was like, I'll never wear this again.
Dude, I never redid my closet. Yeah.
And the whole dress code has gotten so much casual.
Yeah. Even if we did go to the office, I wouldn't. Maybe it's different. I don't know. But I don't really own a pair of slacks. Like, outside of my suits, my blaze, like, none of that crap.
To close out the roommate thing, where it's just like, do you think it's a different age for guys and girls? Like, no, yeah, you're good. You speak freely.
No, that's interesting. I didn't think about it because I'm only thinking it from the perspective of the guys. Because you said you have a scenario where 2 guys are coming out here, your buddies. Girls might be different. I don't know. I feel like they probably want to. I feel like they're more inclined to live alone earlier. Does that make sense? Like,
okay.
I said 27 for the guys. I'd probably say I don't think it's right or wrong again. But I think they're just more inclined. Like, they'll probably be more likely, like, 1 or 2 years live with a friend. And then by, like, 25, they're like, I want to be solo. Yeah. I don't know why.
Girls make friends.
Or maybe I'm afraid to say why.
Girls make close friends.
Yeah.
And then you run into the issue of my close friends don't get along with my roommate.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys get along on some of the dumbest shit, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, hey, we're drinking together, we're good.
Yeah.
You know? But for girls, and this is me saying this, not him, where it's just like, it could be the slightest comment, and it's like, she's sneak dissing me. You know, like something about this girl, or like, hey, every time she comes over, we have this big old party, and then the place is a mess, and then she leaves.
And then yeah.
For guys, it happens too, but it's like much more. You bring it up immediately, where it's like, hey, bro, like
let's clean this
shit up.
Yeah.
Because if you say that girl to girl, I've witnessed the perception.
You have
be
some
like,
examples.
Oh, you know, like, oh, she's mad at me.
Yeah,
she is, but it's okay.
It's fine. Yeah, you get over it. Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why they like. I don't know too many female friends of mine post college that lived with other people. A lot of them.
I'm trying to think right now where it's like
a few, but
the only ones I can think of is like if you're in New York or LA.
Yeah. Big cities, like a lot of people post college move to like San Francisco.
Yeah,
definitely need a roommate there. New York, Chicago. We don't know too many people in Chicago.
Where it's like, hey, rent is $5,000.
Yeah, and I'm bringing in $4,000 a month. So like, what the fuck?
That too. Where and if you're in one of those big cities, well, mainly New York. I don't know how SF is as much. Where it's like, if I pay $1,000 a month, I get this tiny box.
Yeah.
But if I pay $1,500 for a 2-bedroom, then I get a living room.
You get a big box.
You do get.
You have to share it, but you get a bigger space. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how it is.
Yeah. I am of the belief that you do want to live alone for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as it does cost, like I've become a person that's team pro renting, where it's like, dude, just spend the money. Go have fun.
You've always been that. Like, go explore somewhere, rent it.
Don't buy a house because everyone's telling you to buy a house.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't a mistake, but as someone that's a procrastinator, I was glad that someone pushed me into it. Where I was like, oh shit, finally.
Yeah.
Because the house problems rain.
Yeah.
When it rains, and you have no idea. In college, they didn't teach you how to. Oh yeah, your sprinkler's broken.
Yeah.
Unless your dad had to deal with that, and you saw that,
right,
anything your dad fixed.
You maybe like watch him do a few things. Yeah.
AC stuff.
We had AC problems.
Yeah, and you're in Texas. Like I still have AC problems.
Our AC problems. You remember that?
That's what I'm saying.
I started drinking a beer at like 3 p.m. on a work day just to stay cold. Just to stay cool. Remember it was reading like 84 degrees? I was like, bro, I'm just going to start drinking.
And we used to do dumb shit like, well, if we place the thermostat at 65, then it'll go down 1 degree. And it's like, no, that's just the reading.
We really didn't know what the hell we were doing. Yeah, we did do that. We were just like, hey, get this shit to 60.
That's also that was one of my big things where I can live with someone that I feel comfortable with, where it's like we have a communication line. No matter how much either side got frustrated with someone's things, it's like, all right, there's still a baseline of respect versus like when people live with randoms. But I'm sure it works the other way too, where it's like
you almost have
I care more.
I'm gonna make sure I do the dishes. You overextend when it's a random roommate and you're just trying to make things work.
But like if I was to live with, some dude that I interacted with on some dance team back in the day, and it's like I do know you, but I don't know you. I don't trust you around like family and stuff like that. Do I feel comfortable having my family over here? Like and seeing the place.
Yeah.
Or you can have like stuff laying around and just being weird and disrespectful for stuff.
Do you think your boys are gonna live together?
No, I don't. Because like age of 30, man.
They're inching towards 30.
30.
Yeah.
Like no girl wants to see that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like they both have lived by themselves, but it's like, okay, like it's okay to live by yourself again.
Yeah.
The roommate thing is just, I don't know. I think it needs to come to an end at a certain age. As long as, all the money's in place and stuff like that. Like I get it. Have a roommate if you like.
If you need to save a few dollars, it's definitely the right thing to do. For sure.
Yeah. Or if like, hey, I want to be an actor. Let me go to LA and sleep on someone's couch.
Couch surf, yeah.
Yeah, do that. But being like if you're making decent money, just go live.
You got to
go
establish
at
yourself.
least. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna bring back the sports podcast. But do you think, everyone always talks about like this whole should college players make money?
Yeah.
But should there be an age cap to how long someone can continue to play basketball in college.
Yeah, it's crazy now. We were watching today, and there's like a 6-year senior.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit of an anomaly right now because of COVID. So I think this is probably the last year, but a lot of the players can the COVID year doesn't count towards eligibility. So if I was in college during that like season that got cut short or whatever, that just didn't count towards my eligibility.
So if they were a senior during COVID.
Yeah, so that season that got cut short.
How does it work, eligibility years-wise and stuff?
Usually it's just 4 year. You can be a grad transfer and I think play a 5th year. But now you see like 6th year seniors, as they call it, because that COVID year didn't count towards their eligibility. Eligibility meaning like X amount of years they can play at that university.
I just think there always should be a cap on age. Because then it's just like, hey, bro, like you're physically
just a
bigger
man. Yeah.
Like I understand if I enter the game
and
I'm going against, let's say, what should the oldest be? 22?
22 normally.
22. Yeah. I'm going against a 22-year-old and I'm getting bodied. I get it. I'm 18. I have some years to put muscle on. But if I turn 19 and then that guy is still in the league or still in the, at 25.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, what am I supposed to do?
I'm sure there's some 25-year-olds. Because if you transfer, your grad transfer.
Those 6 years, are they still taking classes?
Yeah, I think so. You're required to take some sort of classes. They're probably getting a double degree.
Medicine?
Yeah, they're probably getting a double degree or
art.
Yeah.
No, art's pretty hard. Art's pretty
hard.
hard.
I failed my art class.
I dropped it. I still need to take it.
But something like that, let's not go down there. But the March Madness thing it is crazy because you're right. You have like 18-year-olds, and then in some instances you'll have like a 23-year-old man.
It's like even that big boy that we just watched on
NC State. Yeah.
Where it's just like, yo, how am I supposed to compete with this? And also at the same point, it's just like, it's a thing of like, yo, it's time for you to walk away from this game.
Yeah.
Like when people would graduate college and then they would still be dancing on college dance teams.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yo, you shouldn't be able to compete.
Your time is kind of
You've been in this thing for 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
You're friends with the judges. Why the hell are you on this team?
Yeah.
Your kid is in the audience, bro. What are you doing? Get the hell out of this good team.
We definitely know a few cases of that, and it was very odd.
Like I understand, so then they started the
post
alumni teams.
Yeah, like the
cool
postgraduate.
Go over there. Go over there, do whatever you want, and just stay the hell out of my way. But there just needs to be a cap on this stuff.
Yeah.
Cap. I'm okay with no minimums. Like if you somehow, I understand for NCAA, you gotta be in the college and stuff. Like for the league, right?
Yeah.
People like Kobe went in at 18.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard, 18. Bron,
18 as well. Yeah.
Like I don't think there should be a minimum. 18 probably is a good minimum.
Yeah, I think from a health safety perspective, at least the NFL has a minimum because if you throw a 16-year-old against a 32-year-old, like they can actually get hurt.
Yeah.
So the NFL definitely has a minimum. The NBA, to your point, I don't think they do. Right now, they have 1 year. You have to play 1 year of college or like overseas. You have to play 1 year in between college and when you can declare for the draft.
For what age?
Doesn't matter what age, right? So like even like LaMelo was pretty young and then played 1 year in Australia. I think when he got drafted, he might have even been like 17, about to turn 18.
Yeah.
He was one of the younger guys.
That's just always strange to me. Where like 18, I get 18's the age that you can start going to hookah lounges.
Vote.
You can
vote.
You can buy cigarettes.
I think so.
You can't drink. I'm good with that.
Oh no,
like,
you can't. You can't. Yeah.
What you mean?
My bad.
Well, yeah. Like in European countries and stuff like that. Yes, 18 is the age.
You can. Yeah.
And then 21, sure. You can change your gender. If
you can do whatever.
Yeah, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, I'm okay with, like, even like child labor laws, like where I've been seeing a lot of things where some like a family will have a business and then you see like their little boy at the cash register.
Ooh.
And people will be commenting like, yo, like that's not, like that's just such a bad thing. This is gonna scar him for life. And it's like, yo, like I remember being young and just being at the hotel cash register.
Yeah.
I didn't do much, but I would be like, oh, you need the key to what room? 53?
Yeah.
I'll run to the back and grab it and then give it to him.
Yeah.
It's like,
are you scarred by that?
No, I'm not. Where it's just like let it go to some extent. I understand
Yeah.
there's laws in place where it's like, hey, this kid shouldn't be
But those are
working
for
in a
like
coal
extreme
factory.
stuff. Yeah, we're talking about like, factories, like
or you're working for 12 hours.
yeah, like doing like physical blue collar shit.
But for like you know that like the typical Asian family that comes over here, whether it's Indian, Oriental Asian, whatever it is, and you start a family business.
Yeah.
How do you save money? I employ my cheap labor.
Yeah.
I get it. It's illegal, but you're already dealing in cash. You've already done a handful of other, you know, like things. So just let it be.
Yeah.
As long as the kid's not at harm or anything like that. Like some more context on top of what we've been watching outside of the NCAA stuff is the thing that everyone's been talking about is this. What was it called? Quiet on Set.
Quiet on Set, yeah.
Basically, the nightmares around kids' television, predominantly around Nickelodeon years, early Nickelodeon years with Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
And, you know, they go over, like, the rise of Amanda Bynes. You know what's so disrespectful is, like, there was a girl before her that they were like, hey, you're going to have your own show. And so they had the Kunal Patel show, you know, like, and then eventually... you didn't see this. It was in the first part where they were like, hey, you got too fat.
Oh, the girl before Amanda
They
Bynes.
told the girl.
Wow.
Actually, no, they told the mom in front of the girl, hey, you've gotten too
it's
fat.
Even worse.
She's gotten too fat. Yeah, and think about, like, hearing that as a 13-year-old. That's scarring.
That's nuts. Yeah,
that's
scarring,
nuts. Right?
Yeah.
And so then she goes off into the abyss. The fact that I can't remember her name is already the disrespect that it is, right? Where it's just like...
Well, she probably fell off the map. No offense, but, like, yeah. And then we all remember, like, Amanda Bynes takeover. Yeah.
And they found her at working at the Improv.
Oh, wow.
In L.A.
Wow.
At the age of 13. Or 13? Yeah, I think it's 13.
Maybe. Yeah, those kids were, like, 13, 14.
Then they have her come in, audition. She becomes part of maybe All That or something. And the next thing you know, the Amanda Bynes show. She gets her own. Did you watch stuff like... this would be on, like, CW, but All That? No. What I Like About You?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And then it was just like, damn, like she was a star.
She really was. I forgot until we watched that. I was like, damn.
A star.
She was. She was in everything. Everyone knew who she was.
So they go over that, and then stuff like Drake and Josh, things that know, like everyone knows this stuff.
Yeah.
And the world around, so stuff like that world of like kids television and protecting them, yes, I understand. You know, you gotta have some guardrails in place.
For sure.
Because even when I did like, you know, I was an extra on set.
Yeah.
And there's this scene, and I don't know if I should give up too much, but whatever. Like, this kid's supposed to be drowning, quote unquote. Like, he's supposed to have fallen into the pool, and he's supposed to be drowning. And he's supposed to literally lay there with his back up, like acting like he was dead.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And the parents were there. And also, this was in January in a pool, like during the nighttime.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold.
Dang. That sounds miserable.
This boy's maybe 8 years old.
Damn.
8 years old. And he doesn't know what he's getting into, you know, like, but he's thinking like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, all these lights, cameras.
He jumps in, does an amazing job, and even his parents were just like, oh my God, you know?
He's doing
but
it,
like on that set, it was nothing but like you could see all the caretaking. Like all these ladies, the dudes where as soon as cut, okay, let's get him out. All right, towels, dry him off, you know, put all the heaters on him. Yeah. Where it's like this guy's the most important thing.
Right.
The you know, like the lead actress, hey, we'll get you some towels, but we got to put the heaters on this little boy right now. And
well, that's good
it's
to
like,
see.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But that stuff, that Nickelodeon stuff, like, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Because we were kids too.
We were probably around the same age, I think. Like 2003, those kids were teenagers. Yeah, I was about 10. So I might be a little younger than like Drake and Josh Peck, I think is his name. Well, I was watching that shit. iCarly, like a lot of the other stuff they reference in that documentary.
And what's wild is like I was thinking about this. You know, yesterday we were joking about like, but what did Dan do? You know, like we were joking about, hey, but what did Dan do? And it's like, yo, there's no way.
He was just the oversight, right? Like he was like the.
But how foul of you? Like, like you know this shit's going on. Like I understand a tyrant.
Yeah.
A tyrant, someone that's mean, you can't cancel them.
Right. Mean's different.
The rumors of like, you know, like, oh, he impregnated Amanda Bynes.
That was
like,
rumor.
what?
Yeah.
You know, like,
you have to at least like ask yourself, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How is this even a rumor? And people do get carried away with like, oh, you know, well, this article came out in this week, so then therefore he was probably lying about this. And it's like, yo, like,
yeah,
like let's focus on what we're supposed to focus on here. Like this guy ran. He was a tyrant at a kids TV show in which there was a lot of pedophilia going on.
And you can make the argument he kind of got away with it.
Yeah.
I looked at, remember I told you, I think the end of the documentary says it. He served 16 months.
No. That you're talking about the actual
Peck,
pedophile.
Josh Peck, yeah. Oh, Dan Snyder didn't do anything.
No. Brian Peck.
Oh, Brian Peck. Yeah,
Brian
Josh Peck. Josh Peck is the Drake and Josh guy. Yeah, Brian Peck. Served 16 months and then got like hired right back into the same freaking industry.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. Those twins, I forgot their names.
TV show.
But like,
it wasn't like you were working on some student film.
That's Disney. That's Disney.
You are in the corporate office again after being
11 counts.
Pleading no contest.
Yeah, pleading no
saying,
contest.
hey, yeah, I touched him.
Yeah.
And then you're back on a show with 2 little boys.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like the same concept show, just a different corporation or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Disney.
How does that happen?
That's how fucked up this is. Like,
yeah.
Seriously. That dude, yeah.
Like, it was like during the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
And like all these adult things were being unveiled. Like, oh,
the Fox scandal.
Like,
yeah.
Who's the main dude that got outed during all this? Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
That all happens. And it's like, hey, what about, no one even thinks about the kids' TV thing. Because everyone assumes
you would
like
think they're in a
parents are there.
bubble.
Their
Yeah,
parents
like,
are there.
Yeah, they're immune to that. Like you would just think they're safeguarded because the parents are around. There's probably extra attention because they are like 12-year-olds. They can't make decisions for themselves. But the opposite is probably true. But after seeing the documentary, you could tell like the opposite is true.
All right, last topic I got for you.
All right, hit me. Rapid fire.
How should I deal with wedding stress?
Oh, I was hoping this was going to be one of them. Damn.
Yeah. So basically, to give the viewers an update, I have been, as you know, I proposed. So now wedding planning begins. And the biggest part that I've been like, yo, like I'm losing my mind is the timeline that everything's happening so fast. And it's
Dude,
like,
it happens fast, man. Yeah.
And no one.
How long have you been engaged? Like 10 days.
Yeah.
And you're already stressed.
Isn't
My
that
man's
wild?
stressed. Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy.
How did you navigate through like basically how did you keep yourself leveled? Because like obviously I'm just at the beginning.
Yeah. Ours was a little different because even before I proposed, we had our venue essentially locked down, which is a big one. As you know, venue is a big one. We knew it was going to be in Dallas, and we essentially knew it was going to be a big one. But how did I keep myself level? I don't know. Drink. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah. Dude, it was like a grind. Like it is a second job. That's for damn sure. Don't let anyone get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like you have to be on top of invites, vendors, right? Contract stuff, friends, dances, speeches, like all this shit. I'm not trying to scare you, but
no, I mean that's what I realized.
It's a lot.
I was telling Isha, like how does someone do this? And like let's say you want to start a business. Let's say you're doing a podcast. And you're still working your 9 to 5.
Yep.
Like
that's a big thing.
Where do you find time for this?
Yeah.
And that's been my biggest frustration where like even the concept of last year having so many weddings and then this year like you have birthdays and maybe a couple weddings.
Yeah, you got a little quieter year.
And it's
now.
just like, yo, like at this point I'm tired of being told what to do. Like I want to do what and that's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you want a
why
small,
is that so
simple,
bad? You know, like, and then people be like, oh, you spend so much. And it's like, yo, I'm spending at your event.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, if I leave the house, I want to enjoy.
Yeah.
The issue is I just keep leaving the house now with all these events, travel, wedding. Like, it's dim. It's come down now, but
yeah,
we're in March right now, and things are starting to get slowly added to the calendar. And now with
the
trying to figure out wedding stuff, it just keeps growing.
Dude, it's nuts. Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, we had a big wedding. We enjoyed every minute of it. It was great. But the year leading up to it, we ask ourselves a question all the time: was it worth it?
Is that wild?
Yeah. So, like, there's just like family drama, and thank God we didn't have too much of that. Like, it was actually pretty smooth. When I look back at it, and I hear, like, as he was saying, we had a lot of like friends getting married, and we've heard horror stories about family drama or like disputes, arguments. I look back at mine and I'm like, hey, our process was pretty good. In-laws and my parents got along.
Yeah.
Vendors were all good to us. We didn't have anyone back out. No like weather problems. Like we got really lucky. But it still didn't make the process any easier. Like the year leading up to it, we legit got married in December 30th. We signed our contract for that venue a year before.
Jeez.
And so that basically kickstarted this freaking process.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you just have, like, your evenings are, like, booked.
That's wild. I remember when you'd be booked for this stuff. And I was like, bro, relax.
Yeah, some of it I think I was still living over there. And we go meet up with the wedding planner one time. And then you got to go meet with, like, the decor takes the longest.
It's wild. I don't want to say I'm not looking forward to it, but it's just like...
You kind of have to enjoy the process. Like, you have to realize...
It's a lot of people's opinions, though,
Yeah.
you know?
Your opinion doesn't matter anymore.
And that's the most frustrating part, where it's like, as someone that gets frustrated with...
Yeah, you want...
Where I'm just like, hey, no, I need control over this.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps telling me, like, bro, you got to learn to let go.
Yeah,
It's
I was
like,
going to say, you have to learn how to pick and choose your battles.
It's too much, man.
My biggest thing was, like... My biggest thing was I always wanted to know everything that was happening, whether I had an opinion or not, even if it was on like my wife's side, it didn't even impact me. It wasn't my event. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can maybe have an opinion. I might be able to help us. Just let me know. But then that started to shoot me in like the foot. Like, who cares, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you just gotta pick and choose your battles.
I'm almost of the opposite camp, where I should just like be like, hey, should I just show up?
Yeah.
Like, I can see how a lot of grooms end up doing that. Because, you know, I used to, like, clown that shit where it's like, oh, you know, he ain't even involved.
This
And it's
man's
like,
walking in, seeing
damn,
everything for the
bro.
first time.
You know, like, I understand why you wouldn't be involved. Like, you signing the check ain't that bad. Just signing the check sometimes ain't that bad.
Yeah.
You just keep your sanity.
Yeah. You will have less gray hairs. That's
Keep
for
your
sure.
sanity. And
Jason will probably tell you I was probably more involved than the average groom, which is crazy.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Whether good or bad, I'm telling you, I always wanted to just like be in the know, but I don't think it was worth it. Like, just let it go. Just enjoy it.
All right.
Try to make the most of it.
I'll keep you updated on future episodes. Now I leave the floor for you as far as, do you have any questions, or do you want to give a shout out to your podcast that will be coming or anything? Like, this is where you could do your plug.
I think I have to change my name. I'm sure someone has taken Patel me about it by now. If I bring it back, I would have to change my name. Oh, wait, questions? Let's see. Earlier we were talking about your hiccups in like performances. You said everyone always has to bomb, or everyone has their first bomb.
Yeah.
Was that Jellic MC your bomb? Your only bomb?
No,
Or have you bombed
plenty
other
of
shit?
bombs coming. Hey, you just get smaller bombs.
Yeah.
You get smaller bombs. Like, anytime you tell a joke and it doesn't land, just a small bomb.
Yeah.
The issue is you want to just minimize the bombing.
Yeah.
And that Jellic one where it's like one after the other. You just keep on bombing. Nothing is landing.
Yeah. This is brutal.
Even when Sim was yelling out of the audience.
But we were trying. Yeah, we were trying.
And I wouldn't even know how to react.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, bro, like this is embarrassing.
Usually you can just stay on your feet, bounce off.
Since then, have I had a bomb? Some podcast stuff. I do listen to it afterwards, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. There's only been one episode where I've like fully re-recorded.
Damn.
But there have been.
That was probably
major
early
cuts.
on.
Yeah, it was episode 2.
Oh shit!
And
yeah.
I fell in love with too much of how episode 1 went. That I was like, I only cut maybe one thing of that.
Oh,
And so when episode 2 happened, I was like, why isn't it perfect?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, bro, like just release it.
Yeah.
I thought it would just carry over momentum from episode 1, but it really doesn't. People don't stick with your stuff like that.
Yeah, they probably don't. Okay. Do you have other guests planned?
No, I have.
You kind of just going with it.
That's the worst part, where it's like you know what we were talking about, where it's like, you know, with health.
Yeah.
You know why your health, you know, like, oh, my cholesterol's high. I know why. You know, like, I know I keep eating this Chick-fil-A and stuff like that.
Should we tell them? We both suffer from high cholesterol. And what did we have for lunch today?
Fried chicken.
Howlin' Rays.
And then last night we
And
had
we're
pizza.
having
The time
beers.
before. That's what I'm saying. Like, and
We know
took
what we're doing
Tums
wrong.
thinking Tums is gonna lower my cholesterol. That's the crazy part. Where same thing with what were we talking about? The
Guests.
the
Like,
guests,
yeah,
where
you
it's
know
like,
what you. Yeah.
Initially, I wanted to get to 10, and then I would
Yeah, I
have
remember
guests
saying that.
from 11 to 20.
Oh, like almost like a second
I'm
season,
now
or
at
like
28 by the time this
25,
comes
yeah.
out, maybe 30. Like, I need to line stuff up because
yeah. Do you not have a schedule? Well, okay, I know you don't have a schedule
No,
because
and
like
it's bad.
topic. Well, no, I don't think so because Like when the Oscars are going on, you can talk about that. When the Super Bowl is going on, you know you're gonna
like
talk about that.
schedule,
Like
yeah.
you know, like what's coming up right now. I don't even know what's the
Yeah.
Nickelodeon thing. You kind of knew you wanted to keep an eye on that. March Madness. I don't know, but do you not have like a schedule?
No, and that's the worst part. No, the worst part being like like you need to email people. You know, you need to be more disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's once again going back to like the work from home downfall of like
Yeah.
I have too much freedom.
Yeah.
I have too much freedom and not enough structure or discipline. So now here I am recording the day before release, and I'm just
Yeah.
I know I have to do it right now. So then if I keep approaching it like that, I never have a guest lined up.
Yeah. You've always said you're a procrastinator too.
Massive. When I came to Sim's wedding, I brought all the microphones.
Yeah. When
When I went to Anushka's
had it
wedding, I
ready.
brought all the microphones, and it's like I just didn't do anything. I had this thing
Yeah, I
thing
remember
so
this.
long
Yeah.
that I opened it and I was like, oh, maybe I should get something different, but it was too long because the return window had passed. So that's what I'm trying to get better at is like for example, people like B-Funk,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I have some type of connection there, you know, like
It's a second degree,
They're both,
but
yeah,
yeah,
it's like
you-
second and
yeah.
third degree where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I think y'all know who I am, you know,
Yeah.
not from podcasts, but just through friends or like I
Yeah.
think one of them danced with my sister,
Right. Yeah.
and I've met them again through like Sim and
We've
different
ran into
interactions.
them. Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I should reach out to them.
Yeah.
People that I've met on sets and stuff like that, or other like I've met a handful of female comedians out here that
Yeah.
also have podcasts, and it's like, oh, I should message them.
Join. Yeah.
But then next thing you know, it's like you just don't do it. So
You
all
gotta-
that to say, hey viewers, stay hopeful for no,
Hey,
like
I
so,
tried.
So
I tried.
I'm going to try to get more disciplined about it. I wanted Isha to be the first guest, but we would just never set it up. And that's on me, right?
It's probably hard. Yeah, that's gonna be strange. Yeah, not strange, but it's gonna be hard to like. You gotta just have to do it,
Yeah.
and you probably just gonna have to sit here and talk for like 2 hours before you like the flow.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
weird. That's freaking your significant other. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna be weird to sit here.
It is gonna, and
do it.
what I want to avoid is like interviewing,
Yeah,
interviewing a person
you
that
want to flow conversation.
like obviously your friends know you, and more than likely people that listen to this will be your friends. But
Yeah.
I try to aim towards the masses, where it's like
Yeah,
that's why I've even just noticed this through this episode where we keep naming people like Sean, Sim. I've named Anushka a couple times. You know, like
Yeah.
I
You've
keep
given
saying
some
Isha,
shout-outs,
and it's
yeah.
like, hey, people don't know these people.
yeah,
Like I understand the person that's listening.
right. Yeah,
The masses, they
maybe
don't know
not.
who this is.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm who's like Joe Rogan saying like, oh yeah, I hung out with Elon Musk. Yes, everyone knows who the hell that is.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm trying to like get better at,
yeah, that's fair.
where it's like I'm not interviewing
You
a person.
you
'cause-
can't assume like everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh hey, you're just gonna listen to a conversation. Perfect.
I was the first guest.
Yeah. You
No,
you
I'm
don't
not-
remember
no,
that?
Yeah, I want them
Oh my
to
bad. I didn't
remember.
mean to cut you off.
I want them to remember who the first guest was. So
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kunal Patel. My name has been Ajay Patel. Till next week, I appreciate y'all's time.
yeah, cheers, man.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I know we're
and-
both done.
I'll see y'all next week, and goodbye.